If you've ever typed Iceland waterfall into a search bar, you know the image that always dominates. It's
Oh,
that curtain of water falling in this perfect geometric sheet, almost always framed by a dazzling rainbow.
Skógafoss.
Skogafoss,
Hmm.
perhaps the most cinematic waterfall on Earth. Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we take a stack of information on a monumental subject and extract the essential knowledge you need to be brilliantly informed.
It really is the archetype. You're right that it's the most recognized. The raw statistics are, well, they're incredible.
Give us the numbers.
It's a straight thunderous drop of 60 meters and it's spanning 25 meters wide. But the key, the thing that makes the magic, is the constant, immense spray.
That's the rainbow engine.
Exactly. On any sunny day, that mist guarantees a single or often a double rainbow arching right across the base.
It's no wonder Hollywood loves it. I mean,
Yeah.
this site has been a key backdrop in everything from Thor, The Dark World, to the landscapes in The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
And it was the star of that Justin Bieber I'll Show You music video.
Right, so if you've seen a dramatic waterfall scene in a movie, chances are you've probably seen this one.
That combination of raw, overwhelming natural power and huge media visibility, that makes Skogafoss a fascinating case study.
It really does.
So our deep dive mission today is to move beyond the postcard. Our sources contain really three distinct layers of information for you.
Look,
First, the spectacle and the ancient folklore that define the site. Second, the surprisingly intense and rapid geology that forged the cliff face itself. And finally, the essential modern logistics you need to navigate this incredibly popular destination today.
and we are starting right there with that geological foundation, because the most striking and maybe unbelievable structural fact about Skogafoss is that the massive sheer cliff the water is plunging over.
Yeah.
It was once the Atlantic coastline.
It's mind-boggling. The sources confirm the ocean has since receded roughly 5 kilometers. That's about 3 miles south of where you'd be standing.
Okay, let's unpack this. A shift that massive doesn't just happen. How did the land manage to push the entire ocean back?
To understand the genesis of that cliff, we have to rewind to the end of the last glacial period, so roughly 10,000 years ago. This is a story of extreme geological recovery. Geologists call it post-glacial rebound, or isostatic adjustment.
That phrase alone, isostatic adjustment, makes it sound incredibly slow, like watching paint dry on a geologic timescale.
Well, the mechanism involves immense time, sure, but the speed of the adjustment in Iceland was anything but slow. Picture a massive spring-loaded mattress.
Right.
That's the Earth's crust. During the last glacial maximum, the island was crushed under these colossal ice sheets, some of them up to 3 kilometers thick.
3 kilometers. That weight is just unimaginable.
Right, it depressed the crust deeply into the mantle.
So the ice was effectively sitting on a giant spring. When the glaciers melted and retreated, the immense weight was suddenly removed, and boing! The crust sprang back up.
Precisely. The land was recovering, and in this part of Iceland, that rebound was astonishingly fast. It essentially elevated the land, forcing the relative sea level to drop, and drop rapidly.
How fast are we talking? Give us the numbers that really highlight Iceland as an anomaly here.
We're talking about an extraordinary vertical change. Researchers have constructed these detailed sea level curves for the area around Reykjavik, which give us the specifics.
Yeah.
They documented a relative sea level change of about 45 meters.
Wait, 45 meters? That's like a 15-story building jumping out of the sea in geological terms.
It is. From 43 meters above the present sea level down to 2 meters below it. And this happened in a dramatically compressed period.
What was the time frame?
Just 900 radiocarbon years. That's between roughly 10,300 BP and 9,400 BP.
I know we're throwing some jargon at you.
Yeah.
When we say carbon 14 years, or BP for present, we're just talking about dates from radiocarbon dating. It gives us a really accurate timeline for this stuff.
Right, but the key takeaway is the sheer speed of that vertical lift.
45 meters of land rising in less than 1,000 years. That really does redefine rapid geological action.
It does. When they crunched the numbers, the calculated mean absolute uplift rate for that period was 6.9 centimeters per radiocarbon year.
Wow.
And here is the core geological insight you need. Our sources emphasize that this rate is approximately double the fastest rate reported from any other coastal North Atlantic site.
So Iceland is just in a class of its own.
It simply runs hotter and faster. It's partly due to its position right on the mid-Atlantic ridge, where tectonic activity is already pushing material up.
And that rapid, dramatic uplift is the reason Skogafoss exists. It solidified the former coastal bluff, which, fortunately, is made of this resilient basalt bedrock.
Which gave it the strength to hold its shape.
Exactly. That cliff was left standing high and dry, marking the distinct border between the coastal lowlands and the highlands. It's a permanent scar from a massive ancient springback.
The water is literally falling over the ghost of a former ocean boundary.
That's a powerful image. The basalt cliff is permanent, and so the legend's etched into the culture that surrounds it. Let's pivot from the deep time of geology to the deep history of humanity in Iceland.
This is where it gets really good.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because a place this spectacular inevitably invites its own folklore.
Of course. That sheer cliff face, hidden by mist and rainbows. It just begs for tales of mystery and hidden treasure.
And this legend focuses on Þórhallsson. He was one of the earliest Viking settlers in the Skogar area, arriving around 900 AD.
Right.
The story goes that before he passed away, Þórhallsson buried this magnificent chest filled with gold and other treasures right behind the thick curtain of the waterfall.
And this wasn't just some bedtime story. It became part of the local identity. There's an old Icelandic rhyme that supposedly points the way and promises immense richness to the first person brave enough to find it.
And human nature being what it is, someone had to try, right?
They absolutely did. Our sources detail the attempt by local men, the sons of Amundi Formason, who were determined to get that Viking gold.
So they went for it.
They braved the stinging cold, the powerful roar of the cascade, and they managed to get close enough to secure a hook onto a strong ring on the side of the chest.
Can you imagine the adrenaline after, what, centuries?
Mm-hmm.
They almost had it.
It was heartbreakingly close as they pulled with all their strength. The force of the water, or just the sheer weight of the chest, proved too much. The ring snapped cleanly off in their hands.
No.
And the chest slipped back into the spray, vanishing forever into the depths.
Oof. The ultimate near miss in treasure hunting history.
Well, they did secure tangible proof of the legend. That brass ring was preserved. According to the tale, it was later used on the door of the local church.
You can still see it.
You care. Today, you can see it displayed prominently at the Skogar Museum right nearby.
That museum is so important to this whole story. And I should mention, Þórhallsson wasn't just known for his banking habits. The broader folklore describes him as a powerful sorcerer.
Oh, right, the feud.
He was supposedly locked in a magical feud with his neighbor, Lugrindur, over controlling the flow of the Jökulsá River. These aren't just settlement tales, but tales of magic defining the landscape.
And if you are making the drive, the Skogar Museum complex is a crucial stop. It's right off the ring road. It's the physical home for this history, and it goes far beyond the Viking Age. It's actually 3 interconnected museums.
A full picture of traditional Icelandic life.
Exactly. You have the Folk Museum, which holds artifacts, and of course that famous ring. Then the Open Air Museum, which is spectacular. It's a collection of historic Icelandic turf houses that have been relocated and preserved.
You can walk right through them.
You can, and you immediately feel transported back a century or two. You see how resiliently Icelanders lived off the land. And finally, there's the Technical Museum, which showcases the history of transportation and communication. Early cars, fishing trawlers. It's a comprehensive look at how a challenging island nation adapted.
That sounds like a powerful way to put the geography and history into context. And it's probably a necessary stop before attempting the 527 steps up the side of the waterfall.
Exactly. Now we're moving from the folklore below to the challenge above. If you want that panoramic view over the receding coastline and the entire lowlands, you have to earn it.
Through a serious stair climb.
That steep staircase climbs the eastern side of the cliff to the observation platform. Sources consistently peg the step count at around 527 steps. It is a quad burner right out of the gate.
And that climb is just the starting gun for something much larger and more renowned for hikers.
It is. It's the precursor to the Waterfall Way, also known as the Skoga Trail. This celebrated day hike begins right at that observation platform and just follows the Skoga River upstream.
So how does the trail earn a name like Waterfall Way?
It earns it through sheer volume. Our exploration of the source material revealed that along the 16-kilometer or 10-mile round-trip hike, you will pass an additional, wait for it, 25 to 26 waterfalls.
25 more waterfalls.
25 to 26, yeah. It's a dense, dramatic exhibition of canyons and cascades as the river rushes down from the highlands. You get this incredible succession of powerful, distinct drops, each one unique.
That's truly insane water density. It makes Skogafoss feel like the grand finale of a massive performance. But this trail, the Waterfall Way, is itself merely the first stage of an even greater trek.
That's right. That's the Fimmvörðuháls Trail. If you continue past those 26 waterfalls, you embark on a 25-kilometer or 15.5-mile route that is highly strenuous.
This isn't a casual day hike.
Not at all. This demands prior hiking experience, excellent fitness, and serious gear. It features a dramatic 11,170 meters, that's 3,850 feet of total ascent on the first day alone.
So we're talking a multi-day commitment crossing high, exposed terrain.
Absolutely. It's a world-class but challenging adventure that takes you between two of Iceland's major ice caps, the famous Eyjafjallajökull and its larger neighbor, Mýrdalsjökull. The trek eventually descends into the stunning Thorsmörk Valley,
Which translates fittingly as the land of the gods.
Exactly. And due to the extreme conditions, the trail is typically only safely open from June to September.
You know, I find the visual transformation on that hike fascinating. You start at the bottom in this lush, green, mossy coastal environment.
Right.
And as you climb higher on the Fimmvörðuháls, the landscape just shifts entirely. You transition into that stark, volcanic, almost lunar terrain. You even pass the craters Magni and Moji, which were formed during the 2010 Eyjafjallajökull eruption.
It's a hike through human history, deep time, and active geology, all wrapped into one exhausting, beautiful package. But speaking of popularity, we have to address the reality of visiting Skógafoss today.
Yes, the logistics of modern visitation.
Yeah.
Its location is both a blessing and a curse. It sits directly off the Ring Road, Route 1, and is easily reachable about 2 hours from Reykjavik. That ease of access leads to massive crowds.
Especially between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. when the tour buses roll in.
And that popularity means Iceland has had to adapt its management policies, which affects your wallet.
Yeah.
The era of the free-for-all is changing quickly.
It is. Our sources reflect that as of May 1st, 2025, new parking fees of 1,000 ISK were introduced, payable via the Parka app.
That move from free access to mandated fees is a clear signal of Iceland's struggle to manage over-tourism. Is that fee structure becoming the new norm across the popular sites?
It is. It's part of a broader shift to invest in and maintain the infrastructure required for millions of visitors. And that change isn't just financial, it's physical. The parking area was recently relocated and expanded.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, moving it approximately 500 meters further back from the cascade.
What was the thinking behind that, moving it further away?
It was a strategic effort to restore the natural foreground. The idea is to remove what some commentators called the visual pollution of rental cars and buses from the main sightlines.
So the waterfall can dominate the landscape as it should, instead of feeling like a roadside attraction.
That's the goal. Smart management, even if it adds a little walk. But if you're planning a trip, the preparation for the environment is completely non-negotiable.
Let's talk gear.
Absolutely essential. I cannot stress this enough. You must wear waterproof jackets and pants. The spray generated at the base is immense, and even if you're standing far back, the wind can shift instantly and just soak you to the bone.
And the footing is tricky. You're dealing with wet basalt.
Precisely. Sturdy, non-slip footwear is critical, both on the slippery ground near the base and especially on those 527 steps up the side. That wet rock demands respect.
And winter.
In the short daylight window of winter, the conditions are even more challenging. The whole area becomes heavily iced, and moving safely requires specialized gear, like ice spikes or crampons. You have to be prepared for the Icelandic climate to change in a heartbeat.
Okay, so if you want to diversify your trip and maybe get away from some of that ring road congestion, our sources highlight two important nearby gems that offer a quieter experience.
Yes.
First, the wonderfully named Skógafoss.
Skógafoss is a fantastic contrast to the crowds at Skogafoss. It's a quieter, lesser-known waterfall tucked away in a small, distinct gorge.
How do you get to it?
It's easily reached via a short, gentle 20-minute walk from the Skogar Museum parking lot.
And what makes it so special?
Its main draw is the ability in the summer to walk a small, narrow path that takes you directly behind the cascade.
Oh, wow.
You get that immersive, behind-the-scenes view that is impossible at the main falls. You are surrounded by the roaring water and the echo of the gorge. It's a much more intimate sensory experience.
And then there's a unique historic stop, something truly different, the Seljavallalage swimming pool.
This is a truly historic, almost rustic site. It was built in 1923 for the straightforward purpose of providing local children with swimming lessons.
So it's one of Iceland's oldest functional pools.
It is. It's nestled in a stunningly secluded valley fed by natural hot springs, and reaching it requires a relatively flat, scenic 20 to 25-minute hike.
It sounds like pure, untouched Iceland. Are there facilities?
And this is where expectation meets reality. Access and parking are free, which is wonderful, but
Huh.
you must be warned, the facilities are extremely basic.
How basic.
We're talking primitive, concrete changing rooms and absolutely no restrooms. Furthermore, because it's maintained purely by volunteers, the pool is typically cleaned only once a year.
So, expect nature to be highly involved.
Exactly. The water is often rich with algae. And while it is naturally heated, it's not a hot tub experience. It's usually just pleasantly warm, maybe 20 to 30 degrees Celsius or 68 to 86 Fahrenheit. It's a historical soak and a quiet escape, not a luxury spa.
We have covered a vast sweep of time and territory in this deep dive.
We really have.
We started with a dramatic geological event 10,000 years ago, traveled through Viking treasure legends, crossed a 26 waterfall hiking trail, and navigated the modern realities of tourism and fees.
It's a full spectrum analysis of one of the world's most compelling geographical points.
So what does this all mean for you?
Uh,
Well, Skogafoss is far more than just a spectacular postcard view. It stands as a permanent monument to the incredible extreme forces of post-glacial rebound. That massive column of water is plunging over a landmass that literally sprang up 45 meters in a relative flash of geological time, doubling the speed of coastal uplift compared to the rest of the North Atlantic coast. That intense, shocking history is permanently etched into the basalt cliff.
So next time you see a picture of that iconic waterfall, or when you climb those 527 steps yourself and look out over the vast coastal lowlands toward the ocean, just pause for a moment. Remember that those cliffs were once the definitive edge of the entire Atlantic Ocean. Consider the immense weight of the ice, up to 3 kilometers thick, that had to be removed for the land beneath your feet to rise that 45 meters. That thought anchors you firmly in Iceland's dynamic, restless past.